Cold open. Gotta love a cold open. How's everybody doing today? Um, I haven't done much live streams. I've been very or videos for that matter. I've been very busy with my life. Uh, but um, but I got a little bit of break in my schedule, and I got bored, and I've had some time to make some observations, and I just wanted to make today's topic kind of reflect that. You know how we sit there and we always say there's rules in place they want you to follow, and then you can kind of follow your own path, and here's a way to do it. But you see, here's what people don't understand is there's a different set of rules. If you think about compartmentalization, okay, let's look at it this way. You go to school, each time the bell rings, you change a class. Each time the bell rings, you change a class, and there's lunch in the middle of the day. Each time the bell rings, you change the class. And that is teaching you how to be a worker, a factory worker more so than worker in corporate America, but they both have the same set of rules. There's this time where you go have your lunch. There's this time when you clock in. There's this time when you clock out. Then, okay, that's one set of rules. And then they say, well, start your own business, do your own thing, build your own thing. And then they say, well, here's how to do it. Now, they go beyond telling you that yes, you can file for an LLC or S corp or C corp or something like that, or even just saying I'm sole proprietor, and then you got to figure out, okay, yeah, here's business insurance, and here's all the stuff we can write off, put it in the name of the company that you started, and this is how you can get a lower tax rate and everything, and that's fine. And then they begin to tell you things like, you really want to succeed in business, you buy this book, or you come to this course, you go to this thing, and then you're, before you know it, you're working far more than you intended to. It's gone beyond what you're doing what you love to do. There's doing what you love to do, and then they say, well, that's not good enough. Doing what you love to do is not good enough. So you got to really put your nose to the grindstone and everything else. And then before you know it, you lose out on spending time with your family, your friends, and everything. And sacrifices will be made. That's one thing. But then they really cramp down on it. And then you think to yourself, is this any different than working for the man? Working all those mandatory overtime hours and whatnot. And so they kind of keep you, they have a way. They're always going to have a way to keep the family unit broken up, you see. And I just wanted to talk about that today. So that's really the crux of it, and that's where it's at. So just, I want you to think about it. Every time you hear something on the television, radio, book, whatever, someone else's YouTube channel about how you can do this, how you can do that, and whatever. I just watched this video today about an alternative to Spotify and SoundCloud, and trying to beat if you're an aspiring artist, how to beat the indentured servitude with record labels, and then they're promoting another thing instead of saying you can go out and do your own thing. So here's the truth of the matter for all you aspiring artists out there. Technology has come so far. It is come so far. You can easily set something up. First of all, when it comes to recordings, I mean, I can tell you all about how you can set up your home studio, and not have to pay those outrageous studio fees. Just with a $500 budget. Actually, it's going to be a little bit, well, yeah, $500 budget sounds right, about the lowest price. Before that, I could say 2 or 3. And I could tell you how to do that, and then how to what sort of like tricks of physics you can use to make sure that your mix sounds great, and then you mix it down, and you have your own master of that particular song, that particular track, and then you have a compilation of them, and before you know it, you got an album. So you have, we'll just say, 7 to 15 songs. That's an album, right? These days, we don't have CDs. People don't really use much CDs these days. I still do. And you can just go ahead and you can have put them down to MP3 and set it up to where you can have your songs MP3 download, pay X amount. You got 3 songs for free, but you want the whole album, you pay $15 to $25 to download the whole album. And before you know it, you got yourself an independent album. And even before that, without the downloading, you could just I think it was Discmaster or Disc Makers, and you can just for $250 you can get a CD burner that will just crank out like 10 CDs every 5 minutes. And so you had those before that. So it's just like self-publishing books. It's so easy to self-publish your own music these days. And then copyright, that's another thing. You can do that. Now, but they don't tell you. It's like, no, just do this product as an alternative. It's an alternative product, okay. If you want to take out some of the legwork, sure. But is that going to be enough legwork? Is that going to be the payoff? So now you got that going. Self-publishing is another thing. Right now, a lot of people, and I understand why you do it. If you have one set of talent and you don't have the other talents, fine, I understand. But if you can draw, you could self-publish your own comic books, and graphic novels and trade paperbacks off of websites like KDP or Nook, and then you do that as opposed to do the whole Indiegogo or Kickstarter route. And I've seen this stuff with a Kickstarter route and Indiegogo, and I understand it if you say, well, I need a better inker, or a better what do you call, editor or something like that. Yeah, I understand that. But if you want to be a one-man show, do it all yourself, you can. Same with just regular books, just textbooks, novels, if you will. And you could just self-publish those off of Nook and KDP, the Amazon route. You just print to order, people buy them, boom. But people understand things like you go to and this is, I just want everybody to think from a broader scope. You're presented with something, and you're saying this is the way it is, and then you're presented with another thing, and you say this is an alternative. But what you don't see is the third option, or the fourth option, or the fifth option. And those options, whatever it is, whether it's starting your own business, publishing your own book, publishing your own music, whatever, those options that are more cost effective to you, even though you got to do, the key thing is advertising. Advertise, 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 so that you can't get around that. You could optimize your website, Google SEO, things like that. You'll get it. And that's going to be the most work. But you can build stuff from the ground up. And if you want to build a team, get with people you trust. Don't just get a stranger on the internet. A stranger on the internet might not be your friend. They might act like it, but they might not be your friend. There you go. We go down this route. We go down this rabbit hole of why things are the way they are. Why things are in place the way they need to be in place. And it's about control. It's about breaking up the family unit, keeping you poor, keeping you destitute, keeping you in indentured servitude, just to serve their purpose. And for those of you who do not believe, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. Mankind is corrupt. We turn on each other for money. We grass is always greener, even if it means hurting those we love or those we care about. That's what happens. And we're imperfect. We're sinners. We need redemption. And that's why we got Jesus Christ. So anyways, that's really what I wanted to tell you today. Is our bodies will fade away. Our friends' bodies will fade away. Our favorite brands, our favorite TV shows, our favorite pieces of technology will all crumble and fade away and just go kaput. You can only restore a car so much before it dies. Oh, hey, Papa Cotton. How you doing, buddy? And that's what it all comes down to. And then we'll look at alternative media. You're told, okay, well, mainstream media doesn't have your best interests. Here's your alternative. And then you realize that most of the alternative, they've gotten popular. They've gotten about as big as the current mainstream media. And you wonder who's pulling their strings. What do they got to? What's going on with them? And there you go. That's exactly what's happening. So that's what I want you to think about. And I probably said something similar to that statement several times already. And we've only been on 15 minutes or just shy of it. And you say, well, you can't really say certain things or else you get assassinated or get offed. And that's why if they were really up against the cusp, if they were really really at the forefront of telling you the truth or telling you the whole story, spilling the entire beans, if you will, then you'd see a lot more people being offed. The mainstream corporate media, mainstream politics, mainstream just about everything. It's like professional wrestling. It's scripted with predetermined outcomes. And if certain outcomes don't go their way, they have plans A, B, C, and D to circle back to where they want you to go, to where they want society to go. That's the truth of the matter. I have to drink a lot of water these days. A lot more than I used to. So I really want you to understand this. I'm not saying we're living in a matrix, but I am saying we're living in the Truman Show. You remember the movie The Truman Show? That's what we're living in. We're living in a Truman Show. Everything's being watched, tracked, everything's being predetermined for us. And good luck trying to find something outside of what they want you to consume. There's gatekeepers. Sure, they allow us some freedoms, but how much? It's like this. Okay, free range chickens. We'll just put it in perspective. Free range chickens have it a lot better than chickens at a commercial farm. However, those free range chickens still can't go beyond the fence. You see, those of us that are not like tightened up inside, we're kind of like free range chickens. But again, there's still a limit. There's still a fence. There's what we can do inside the fence. Good luck getting out of that fence. Understand that. Understand that. Now, there's a lot you could do within that fence. And maybe those resources can carry you outside that fence. But there has to be enough people that you can kind of slip by. You understand that? I hope you do. So far we talked about the so-called independent journalists, so-called independent news outlets, so-called alternative forms of entertainment, so-called. If it was so-called alternative, there would be a better way. It's either get in on this action or be shunned. And if you truly, truly, truly had a better way that'll benefit everybody and benefit one person at a time and become a viable alternative, then you get ostracized. You see, or you don't get boosted. Your channel, your outlet, or whatever won't get advertised. You see, and sometimes they'll let you, sometimes they won't. Once you start talking about certain things, chances are they won't. Some of the best books, some of the best documentaries, some of the best content out there is on YouTube. Rarely is on YouTube. Hasn't made millions of dollars. And you'd find them in these obscure stores, obscure thrift stores off the beaten path, or or wherever, saying, "Oh, it's just a silly video. It's this book. Here, sell it 50 cents, whatever." And these people, they never got rich, but sometimes their content got really popular, went viral before the internet, and you could come across this stuff. And there's other platforms that'll do it, but how long will these other platforms last? You say Rumble, okay? Rumble, here's your alternative to YouTube, Rumble. Everybody's got a price. Everything has a price. And check this out. Whether you're on YouTube or Rumble or wherever that you're subscribed to, signed up to, your IP address is recorded. Your email address is recorded. Your address is recorded backdoor through that email address. So if they really wanted to find you, they'll find you. We'll say the bad guys win. Bad guys get a hold of that. You think you're safe? No. You think Rumble can't be compromised? No. Gab was compromised a few years ago. So I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. I mean, we could do our best. We can do our best, certainly. You don't knowingly give to the devil. I won't get on Discord because I knowingly know that 60% of it is owned by, I believe, is it Tencent or someone else? It's one of those two major companies over there. But everything has to be recorded to the Chinese Cyberspace Authority. Now you say, "Oh, well, the Chinese don't know better than the U.S. government." It's like, well, I don't care. Sometimes it's better to go with the devil you know than the devil you don't know. Number one. Number two, man, I guarantee it. I guarantee if I step foot in Chinese-controlled territory and I get arrested, I will never be heard from again. And if they find an excuse to arrest me, and they will, if I ever remote one of those things, I will not be heard from again. Now, I've said some stuff about the Chinese. I used to get in with them on Twitter, expose members of the 50 Cent Army in real time. And now it's called X or whatever. And I haven't been on that platform since January 2001, January 4th of 2001. I just had a gut feeling. Nuked all my accounts and everything over there. Now, they still could find me. They really wanted to. But regardless, you think all that stuff goes away? None of it goes away. It's forever. It's 100% forever. So that's where I'm getting at. I needed more water. This is where I'm getting at, people. I'm not saying we live in a matrix. I say we live in a free range chicken farm. And even on a free range chicken farm, there's still a fence. So you're given the illusion of freedom, you see. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Do you understand it? Let's see. Okay, so I'll put up a poll. Start a poll. Okay, let's see. Does a free-range chicken farm still have a fence. Start poll. There we go. Figured I'd throw up a poll. I'm going to vote in that poll. Can I vote in my own poll? Okay, apparently I can't vote in my own poll. Regardless. So that's what I'm getting at. Okay, so we talked about that. All right, education. You heard this before. College isn't for everybody, and I agree. Should you go to college? For the most part, no. Is there a reason to go to college? Well, for medical fields, yes. Everything else, not so much. Do you need college to pass the bar? I'm not sure if you do. Depends on what state you're in. So that's where I'm at with college. You can go to trade school or technical school. However, keep in mind that I believe now trade schools and technical schools aren't what they used to be. There's STEM learning. There's everything else. There's all these alternatives. Again, they'll only offer you an alternative once they know how to control it. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about marijuana, for instance. A lot of places seen the writing on the wall. So I want you to follow the money to see these people that have their all these celebrities popped up with their own form of commercialized pot. Like Purple Urkel, and then Jim Belushi had some Blues Brothers stuff. But how'd they get into that business? Did they start a farm themselves? I don't believe they did. I believe certain interests have started these farms that probably go back to tobacco, and they start these farms, and then a celebrity puts their name on it, just like barbecue sauce, just like all these other things that have someone's name on it, all these food and pots and pans and things like that. George Foreman grill, he didn't invent a George Foreman grill. No, here's the story. Here's the story behind the George Foreman grill. I forget the name of the company, but they said, all right, we have a grill and we have a pasta maker. They called up Hulk Hogan. They said, hey, you want your name on this grill or this pasta maker? It's what we got. He said, I'll do the pasta maker. George Foreman did the grill. The Hulk Hogan pasta maker. Remember that? Yeah. So there's that. None of these celebrities actually make these items. Therefore, would you say that these same celebrities would have these, say, that come out with these brands of pot, have their own brand, have their own farms and everything? Do they check the numbers? Do they see what they get in crop, and do they see the skews, the skids, and do they have oversee any of the production of and the harvesting of the said product? Absolutely not. They do not. Paul Newman, famous actor. And he was smart. He put his name on salad dressing, barbecue sauce, and you even see Paul Newman's pizza in a frozen pizza aisle. It's all there. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Biscotti's here. He's a good guy. Hey, buddy. But really, that's what we're looking at. Celebrity endorsed stuff. They never have their names on. They never have anything to do with the production or the manufacturing of said product. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. He tells me, my producer here is telling me I need to wrap it up soon. He says I need to take care of some things. So that's what I want you to look at. Say who benefits from this? Why is it the way it is? Who's the smart person? Who really developed this? Because I guarantee you, Bill Gates, the stuff we find out about Bill Gates, he has his name on things. I guarantee you he's never ever touched a computer. He's never built one. He's never he again, Bill Gates, his parents were donors to the Eugenics Society, which became Planned Parenthood. Bill Gates was groomed and positioned. And basically, that was their answer to Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. And it took a bit to get them both on board, but they got them on board. But it was a little bit more difficult. So, are we in a matrix? No. We are in a free range chicken farm. Can we escape from it? Yeah, but the free range chicken farm is there to give us an illusion of choice. When they say the word alternative to this, that, or the other thing, what is the alternative? How popular the alternative is, and are there gatekeepers in that so-called alternative? What can you do? What can be done? Can you make something of it out of yourself? I don't know. You have to ask that yourself. You have to look at the market. You have to look at what your skills are, what your talents are, and you can go forth and put it out there. And at the same time, do you or should you conform to the rules that society has put in place, the so-called norms? That's the summarization. That's what I'm talking about. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you farewell. I will see you on the next one. And just keep thinking. Look at things from every angle, every perspective. Don't just sit there and say, is it either or? Not everything is either or. Not everything is black and white. Not everything is up or down. Some things are. Don't get me wrong. There are things that are. But again, what just look at it. Are they playing a red herring? Are they playing a fallacy? Look at everything from all angles. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. Christ be with you.